Hello and welcome to Future Simple Friday Live, episode 11. This week we are taking a bit of a break and we're going to have a look back over some of the best questions from our past 10 episodes.
Hi, I'm Suzanne, run a boutique consultancy in Edinburgh, FX1.
So I am Nick Murray. I am the marketing and communications lead from Adopt an Intern.
Today is the Edinburgh Business Show and we are joined by lovely guest Sarah Robertson from Scott Beer Tours. We are here today with Bruce from FutureX. Do you want to introduce yourself and a bit about FutureX?
Sure. So I'm one of the co-founders of FutureX.
Andrew Johnson from many, I don't even know what to say you're from now because you've got Cuckoo, Relax, Change, Create, you've got your apps, you've got all sorts. We have got the fabulous Rachel from Van Roselle Macaron.
Absolutely,
Did
you
I
said
pronounce
it
that
right. I was like, is she gonna?
I was
is she
really
gonna? You did.
concentrating. I was concentrating so hard.
So, learning of the week. Learning of the week. What you think you've communicated isn't necessarily what somebody else thinks you've communicated.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So, yeah, even I guess it's not something that I learned this week, but
It's a good
something that I've been reminded of this week, and it's really important to ask people to repeat back to you what they've understood from a conversation.
Jargon term or abbreviation you've struggled to avoid. That would be ROI. It's all about the ROI. We, for the first time this week ever, we've done Facebook adverts, which is a bit scary, to be honest. Just like putting money over there and like
What's going to happen?
Yeah. So calculating the ROI has been my bugbear this week, for sure.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways of calculating ROI. But I think it depends what you want out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally depends what you want out of it. But yeah, ROI is one of mine as well. I always go on about ROI and how you can make it better and how you can improve it. But really, what does it mean for you? So it's like I was just talking to another client earlier who had put an article on something and was like, oh, it only got 31 views. And he was like, but one of the people that liked it has now turned into this and it might be a client. And I'm like, well, in terms of return on investment, does it matter that only 31 people read it? Or does it matter that one person now might turn into a really good client for you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Let's go first. Okay. Question is favourite tactic or platform? My favourite platform would be StageGate. For those of you not familiar with StageGate is a best practice methodology that's been around for about 30 years that guides organisations on how to take an idea right through an organisation to be commercial.
How mindful have you been this week? Yes, same answer as meditation, just taking stock, stepping back. The other thing I've been working on this week is some issues that have come up that I realise are pressing buttons from the past. And I think that's a learning that I'll be talking about more and more to people. It's interesting how many things come up and we react to them, and then with a little bit of mindfulness we realise that we're not reacting to the thing in the moment, we're reacting to how we reacted to a similar circumstance in the past. And that is so common, but it's nice to be mindful about it. And I've caught myself a few times this week being able to think, no, wait a minute, I'm reacting to a memory of something similar. So I'm glad to have some tools to be able to do that.
So yeah, it's perspective and what you actually want to get out of it when it comes to ROI for me. Not just all about the numbers and figures.
I could talk to you about this and ask you 100 questions, but I'm not going to. I'll leave that for another time. Go.
Was that
I think. No, it's you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, how have you looked after yourself this week? Once again, not as well as I should have done. I've actually been nursed this week. My son has managed to get himself a double ear infection. I know, bless him. So yesterday, I suppose in a way I did. So yesterday I had to take the day off to look after Harry. But I just decided, right, seeing as I can't, I'm just not going to look at anything to do with work.
Oh, well.
So rather than try and do half and half, which is what in the past I've tried to do. So leave him on the sofa and I'll try and type something. I've just gone, no, because I can't put enough attention into one thing and end up just doing two things really badly. So
I think that's a massive success.
Yeah, in a sense,
definitely.
I did actually just go, and even like once I'd put him to bed, I was like, no, I'm just gonna eat some chocolate. Yeah, I think that would be
that
good.
actually you have looked
Looked
after yourself
myself very well this week in a day.
Learning of the week. What have I learned? It's probably about Facebook adverts, to be honest, that you can keep drilling down, and that I worked out there was 6 type of adverts that we could run, but to different people. So it was like 6 to the power of 3, sort of, maybe.
You got into squares and cubes.
I love math.
Yeah,
I love a number pattern.
I think that's our time up. Yeah, so we had 3 questions left. I like it. Once we realised that my timer wasn't working because we got to the last question, which had never happened before, and you're like, something didn't work.
Technology.
But thank you very much for being my last minute guest.
You're very welcome.
And filling us in all your interesting stuff that you've got a piece of brain missing.
If anyone wants to talk about brain.
I don't wish that someone took a piece of brain out. That's a horrible thing to say, but it's a really good excuse for stuff, isn't it?
It comes in so handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you wouldn't believe.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for Futrsmple Friday Live this week. Next week's episode that will be on Friday will be with Bruce Walker from FutureX, and we are doing a quasi-live-ish recording on Wednesday, but that won't actually be aired until the week after with STV. So, all exciting stuff ahead. Have a great weekend, and we shall catch you next week. Thanks, bye!
Bye!
Strangest fact. About myself, about the world in general.
Just general. You can probably take your one that you had before, actually.
Yeah, that's a good fact. Another one, I guess, beer related and tasting.
Yes.
Your sense of smells directly linked to your memories.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
What we do when we do tastings with people is that we get them to close their eyes, and then we get them to answer a series of questions that help them unearth whichever memory is being triggered, because people don't practice that skill, so they don't know how to do it unguided, and it's really powerful. And people are like, oh, I'm at my granny's having breakfast, or I'm on holiday with mom and dad, or like things like this start coming out, and it totally changes then how they experience food and drink.
Jargon term, abbreviation you struggle to avoid. Okay, so I'm a one-man marketing force in my team, and I try to avoid jargon as much as possible because nobody wants to hear it. But one term that can't be avoided is engagement, and it's nothing to do with marriage. It's to do with people getting on board with what you're doing and what you're saying, and it's something we all want, but it's quite hard to measure cross-platform sometimes. So impressions on Twitter don't necessarily mean engagement, but what they do mean is perhaps brand recognition on your things for customers at touch points. So it's tricky for us at Adopt an Intern. We have such a huge audience of businesses and such a huge audience of graduates, but all of these things are always cyclical and they always turn over. So for us to keep our engagement up, we always have to try new ways to attract new businesses and to maintain a good relationship with universities and graduates and job seekers from all backgrounds. So it means that all of my copy, all of my marketing materials and messages have to be quite diverse, especially with some new projects that we've got coming up. So engagement is always on the tip of my tongue, but it's a very difficult thing to manage when all your messages can be quite different.
And it's a weird one because I find engagement, it's another one of those words that's sort of changed meaning since the internet. Because of all the stats and things that you can track, especially in marketing, the different stats, and on every different social platform, they call everything slightly differently. So you've got friends and follows and likes and all that kind of thing. And engagement has become, it means they clicked and watched a video, or they watched a video for 3 seconds means that they were engaged, and you're like, really? Did they engage? Did it link with them on some sort of level? Did they understand what we were talking about? Is that something we can actually measure?
Yeah, people say to me, I see you guys everywhere, and I think, but you're not liking or commenting. But that's still great that I'm getting out there. So yeah, it's a tricky one. It's quite a hard one to justify to your boss on ROI.
Yeah.
I actually, in terms of jargon, I pulled out a good one the other day because I said that we can measure the ROI of our CSR KPIs
Wow.
for
That's
AAI.
cool, yeah.
So, and that makes sense, but for some people, they would just go completely cross-eyed.
That could mean so many things.
Yeah.
One of my favourite things is taking abbreviations and just making up something else.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, so I would have to come up with a whole new sentence for that, just to wind you up.
Please don't, I don't need that. That's not good for my mental health.
Right. New Year's resolution. My New Year's resolution, business-wise, is probably to try and stop spinning too many plates. I keep having amazing ideas. They might not even be amazing, but I decide that they're amazing. I want to do them, and then I can't do them all very well because I'm trying to do too many things.
Yes.
So we actually have a day booked in for this, don't we? Between Christmas and New Year.
Exactly.
We're going to sit down and go, what should we be concentrating on? What should we cut back on? Because we're trying to do too many things for a very small team.
I think that's a really good one. Just about really focusing in what you're actually wanting to do, where you're wanting to go. I mean, it's
there's no reason why we can't do all of these good ideas. We just don't have to do them right now.
Exactly.
That's right. Yeah, I think focus is so important.
Yeah.
But I think when you've got an entrepreneurial mind, you can't help but see an opportunity and think, I could probably action that.
I could do it.
But the hard thing is you can't do everything, can you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for watching this week. Next week we will be with Gordon Merrilees, who is Head of Entrepreneurship for Royal Bank of Scotland and NatWest. And the week after we will be heading over to STV. So please do join us then. Have a great weekend. Thanks. Bye.